Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta at sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa akin. Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban ko sa Mubadala Abu.
On January 26, 2026, under the blazing lights of the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex, what unfolded in Manila was far more than a routine post-match interview. It was a defining moment in Philippine sports history. After dismantling Eala Cariva, a sweat-soaked Alex Eala walked to center court, microphone in hand, as the crowd expected polite thank yous and standard remarks, but instead received a confession so raw it silenced the entire arena. With her voice trembling yet her gaze fierce, the 20-year-old tennis star looked straight into the camera and declared, "I play for children who don't have food to eat," words that caused the stadium to fall into complete stillness before she delivered an even more powerful revelation. She would donate her entire prize money from the Philippine Women's Open to orphans, impoverished children, and disadvantaged students across the country. In that instant, the match transformed into a movement, and Alex Eala transcended sport, becoming a symbol of compassion and hope, proving that true greatness is measured not only by trophies but by the lives you uplift. For years, Filipino fans had followed her journey from afar, watching grainy streams from Europe, celebrating junior Grand Slam titles through phone screens, but now, professional women's tennis had finally come home, and so had Alex. The historic venue, long a witness to athletic and political milestones, was reborn as a fortress of national pride, packed to capacity and roaring with emotion. Visibly moved, Alex later admitted that playing at home hits different, saying the pressure of competing in Manila paled in comparison to the daily struggles of Filipino children who go to bed hungry, a sentiment that forever etched this moment into the country's collective memory. No more watching from afar and no more delayed broadcasts. This was live, real, and happening right in the Philippines. The energy inside Rizal Memorial went beyond ordinary fan support. It was validation, pride, and a nation finally witnessing its champion in the flesh, and Alex Eala was delivering in spectacular fashion. But Wednesday night, January 28th, told a far more complicated story than the scoreline suggested. On paper, the 6-4, 6-0 win over Japan's Himeno Saketsum looked routine, yet the opening set was anything but. Saketsum came out swinging, pushing Eala to her limits, creating multiple breakpoint chances, and testing whether the home favorite could withstand the crushing pressure. The humidity was relentless, the crowd visibly tense, and for long stretches it felt as if an upset was looming. Facing 4 breakpoints, Eala dug deep into the mental toughness that separates good players from great ones, saving every single one before stringing together 3 straight games to seal the first set 6-4. Just as the stadium exhaled in relief, however, something happened that made every Filipino heart skip a beat. Cameras caught Alex Eala adjusting a medical bandage on her right thigh between sets, instantly sending a wave of anxiety through the stadium as memories of earlier physical discomfort resurfaced and worst-case scenarios began to swirl. Was she injured? Could she continue? Would her dream run on home soil end not in defeat, but in retirement? The tension was suffocating, yet champions do not crumble when their bodies falter, they rise, and that is exactly what Eala did. Rather than shrinking under the strain, she transformed discomfort into raw competitive fire, turning the second set into a ruthless exhibition. Himeno Saketsum's resistance collapsed under the relentless barrage of Eala's punishing left-handed forehand as point after point, game after game, the Filipino star took complete control. She sealed the match with a bagel, winning the set 6-0 to punch her ticket to the quarterfinals, a performance that revealed not only her immense talent but the warrior mentality that defines her ascent, setting the stage for her reflections on what it takes to sustain such a level throughout a demanding tournament. Speaking about the grind of the tour, Alex Eala reflected on how difficult consistency can be when you're facing elite competition week after week, explaining with wisdom far beyond her 20 years that even great players have moments where they play better, but what truly separates the best is their ability to show up again and again, a skill she says she is still learning. Yet in truth, she isn't just learning anymore. She is living it in real time, on the biggest stage of her domestic career, with an entire nation watching her every move. Eala is showing up and showing out, displaying maturity, composure, and a growing mastery of both body and mind through the toughest moments, clear signs of a player evolving rapidly from promising prospect into a professional powerhouse. The bandage on her thigh remains, but now it is nothing more than a battle scar, the physical discomfort failing to slow her momentum as she heads toward the quarterfinals. Even more powerful is the emotional and spiritual fuel driving her forward, memories of Papa Lolo offering silent encouragement, thousands of Filipino fans ready to create an atmosphere unlike anything her opponents have faced, and the profound knowledge that every point she wins helps feed hungry children, educate disadvantaged students, and bring hope to orphans across the Philippines. That isn't pressure, it's purpose. Purpose is the most powerful motivator in sports, and now the question is whether Eala can overcome Camila Osorio, advance to the semifinals, and keep this magical run alive on home soil, perhaps even go all the way and win the tournament. The tennis world is watching, the Philippines is holding its breath, and the children she plays for are counting on her. Yet regardless of the final outcome, Eala has already achieved something far more meaningful than any trophy. She has won hearts, inspired a generation, and proven that true champions use their platform to lift others up. The scoreboard will decide who moves on, but the story of Eala's Philippine Open has already transcended sport and entered the realm of legend. In a broader context, what is unfolding in Manila carries significance beyond this single week, as the WTA continues expanding its footprint across Asia and events like the Philippine Open showcase a growing, passionate market for women's tennis. With electric crowds, strong organization, and the rise of a homegrown star, this tournament has all the elements organizers dream of, and if it continues to thrive, it could become a regular tour stop, giving Filipino fans a yearly celebration of world-class tennis on home ground. Access to world-class tennis at home creates opportunities that can reshape an entire sporting ecosystem, and that is exactly what this moment represents for the Philippines. Young girls across the country are watching Eala and discovering what is possible, seeing that a Filipina can compete with and defeat the world's best, that honoring your roots does not mean limiting your ambition, and that true success carries a responsibility to give back. The ripple effects of her actions this week will echo for years, from increased enrollment in tennis academies to greater parental support for young athletes and renewed sponsor interest in Filipino tennis talent. This is how movements begin. The symbolism of the venue only deepens the meaning of her run, as the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex, named after national hero Jose Rizal, a champion of independence and social reform, stands as a monument to resilience, courage, and dignity. Having hosted historic sporting events, political gatherings, and moments of national reflection, it is a place where legacy matters, and Eala's stand on these courts adds a new chapter to that history. By donating her prize money to the less fortunate, she echoes Rizal's lifelong commitment to uplifting the marginalized, stepping into the lineage of Filipino heroes who used their talents for the greater good. The financial impact of her decision is significant as well, as WTA 125 events offer substantial prize money, and her choice to commit her entire earnings to those in need elevates this tournament from a sporting success into a moment of lasting national significance, by committing her prize money to charitable causes. Eala is making a sacrifice that will quite literally change lives, providing meals for children who might otherwise go hungry, funding school supplies for students who cannot afford books or uniforms, and supporting orphanages struggling to care for vulnerable kids. In a country where poverty remains a persistent challenge, even a relatively modest sum can have an enormous impact in the right hands, and this is no symbolic gesture. It is tangible, measurable change carried out in full public view to shine a light on issues too often ignored. That is leadership, that is character, and that is what separates good athletes from truly great human beings. As she moves into the quarterfinals, however, the mental battle becomes just as demanding as the physical one, especially on home soil. The roar of thousands of fans can be a powerful weapon, lifting her when fatigue sets in, intimidating opponents unaccustomed to such intensity, and swinging momentum at critical moments, but it also carries a darker side, where expectations become suffocating and the fear of disappointing an entire nation can creep into a player's mind. The questions arrive uninvited during the biggest points: what if I lose? What if I let everyone down? What if I'm not good enough? And these internal battles often prove more brutal than the opponent across the net. Adding to the weight is the emotional truth that Alex isn't just playing for rankings or results. She is playing for something far deeper, and that purpose both fuels her rise and tests her resilience. Eala is no longer playing for points or prize money. She has made this journey bigger than herself, and that clarity gives her an extraordinary edge. Every time fatigue sets in or doubt begins to whisper, she can anchor herself in her true purpose, fighting for children who lack the opportunity she was given, honoring the memory of Papa Lolo, representing the Philippines on the world stage, and inspiring millions of young Filipinos to dream beyond their circumstances. That kind of motivation is rocket fuel, the difference between giving 95% and finding a way to give 110, because when you play for something greater than yourself, you unlock reserves you never knew existed. Her rise also fits into a broader renaissance in women's tennis across Asia, with players from China, Japan, Thailand, and now the Philippines making real noise on the professional tour, reshaping perceptions and creating powerful role models for young girls throughout the region. Alex is part of that wave, proof that Asian tennis is not merely emerging but fully arriving, as the sport moves beyond its old European and American strongholds into a truly global era. What makes her success even more meaningful is that she has achieved it without sacrificing her identity, speaking Tagalog in interviews, honoring her family's sacrifices, and openly embracing the unique weight and pride of representing the Philippines. In an era when many athletes feel pressured to distance themselves from their roots, Alex has remained proudly and unapologetically Filipino, an authenticity that resonates deeply and turns her victories into something collective rather than personal. And given the challenges the country has faced in recent years, from natural disasters to economic hardship and political uncertainty, this moment feels especially timely, offering not just sporting excellence, but a powerful reminder of resilience, unity, and hope. Sports have always served as a unifying force in difficult times, offering people something to rally around and celebrate together. And Alex Eala's run at the Philippine Open is delivering exactly that kind of uplift. For a few hours each day, Filipinos from every walk of life can come together to support their champion, set aside their worries, and simply feel the joy and pride that come with shared triumph and hope for the future. That is the true power of sport, and it is why Alex's influence now stretches far beyond the tennis court. As the quarterfinal showdown approaches, the weight of the moment is impossible to ignore. This is where dreams are either extended or extinguished, where heroes are forged and heartbreak is never far away. While reaching this stage has already surpassed many expectations, no one involved is satisfied with a quarterfinal finish. Not Alex, not the fans, and certainly not the children who are counting on her prize money. The mission is clear: defeat Camila Osorio and keep the dream alive. One win brings the semifinals within reach. 2 more wins would crown Alex Eala champion of the Philippine Women's Open, cementing her status as a national icon and launching her toward even greater heights on the tour. The pressure will be immense, but so will the opportunity, as Rizal Memorial crackles with energy, cameras roll, and an entire nation watches a 20-year-old woman armed with a powerful serve, a devastating forehand, the memory of her grandfather in her heart, and the hopes of hungry children across the Philippines on her mind, a combination that promises either unforgettable glory or profound heartbreak. The quarterfinals represent a moment of either transcendent victory or devastating defeat. For Alex Eala, there is no middle ground. She can rise and deliver a performance that will be remembered for generations, or Camila Osorio can assert why she has been ranked in the top 40 and end the home favorite's dream run. What is certain is that Alex will leave everything on the court, refusing to hold back, refusing to play it safe, and refusing to let fear dictate her decisions. She will swing freely, trust her game, and compete with every ounce of energy she possesses, because that is who she is as a player and as a person. Win or lose, she will walk off knowing she gave her absolute best, and in the end, that effort, the heart, the character is entirely within her control. Osorio, meanwhile, faces the opposite challenge, navigating a hostile environment where nearly every fan is rooting against her. She must contend not only with Alex but with the weight of Filipino national pride pressing down on the match. Yet Osorio is a professional, and professionals know how to focus on execution, respect the moment without being overwhelmed, acknowledge an opponent's talent without intimidation, and play their game regardless of external noise. The tactical battle will be mesmerizing, both aggressive baseliners seeking to dictate play with forehands, both armed with strong serves for free points, both athletic defenders capable of turning the tide. The match may be decided by a handful of key moments: who serves better under pressure, who maintains composure on critical points, who adjusts tactically when the initial plan falters. And while the outcome will be written on the scoreboard, Alex Eala has already accomplished something extraordinary. She has reminded us why we love sports, shown that competition can extend far beyond wins and losses, demonstrated the power athletes have to create positive change in their communities, and given Filipino tennis fans a week they will never forget. More than a player, she has established herself as a role model and a leader who understands the privilege and responsibility of her platform, leaving a legacy that will endure long after the final scores are forgotten.
Alex, after a terrific year last year, how does it feel to be making your main draw debut at Melbourne?
It feels great. I'm super excited. Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban ko sa Mubadala Abu